Hi, it's Ashley Carpenter of DIY Wellness Club, and today I am coming to you from my balcony, so it looks a little different than my kitchen, but I just wanted to give you a quick tutorial. I didn't really need to make a recipe, so that's why I'm not in my kitchen, but I wanted to give you a quick tutorial about roller bottles. So when we talk about using essential oils, we know that there are three ways that you can use essential oils. So you can use them aromatically, that's like diffusing. You could use them internally, so ingesting essential oils in food or drink, and you could use them topically. So topically might include essential oils in the bath or in a massage, or you might use a roller bottle. Now, when I talk about these roller bottles in this video, I'm talking about this glass bottle, and then on the inside it has a metal ball applicator and a bit of plastic around it to hold the metal ball in place. Okay, or I have another type of applicator that's a metal ball with metal around it rather than plastic. So both are good, and I just want to show you this one. So it has metal on metal, and you can attach that to one of the essential oil bottles that you have. So those are really good too. So roller bottles, what's good about them? Why should you use them? I love these things. I'm actually holding the ones, look how many I have. I'm holding the ones that I use like all the time. So I use a lot of them, and my family uses a lot of them. So they are great because they're great for on the go. So a bunch of these I keep in my bag, and I just have them with me at all times. And you know, whenever I feel the need to use it, whether it's for like support with emotions or some sort of physical thing going on, I just have them available, and they're great. So I'll talk to you a little bit about that. But just so you know, these blue ones are 10 milliliters, and I love that size. I love how much you get out of it when you roll it onto yourself. But there's also these 5 milliliter roller bottles, which are very small. Well, I hold it up next to the 10 milliliter one. So they're obviously half the size. But what it is that the applicator is also very small, and it's really hard to I have to just roll it to get what I feel like is a good amount out of it. So I don't usually use those, but you know, 10 versus 5. So 10 is what I normally use, especially for things that I am going to be rolling on and using all the time, because I know I'll get through it. You know, once you add carrier oil to your essential oils, you really drastically reduce the lifespan of that, the effectiveness of that oil. So you need to think about, okay, that carrier oil, is it olive oil, grapeseed oil, coconut oil, whatever? What's the expiration date on that? You know, how long can I keep it around? Really, a year is a good rule of thumb as the maximum for what you would want to keep a roller bottle around for. So if you think it's something that you're going to use just every now and again, then you should maybe go for the 5 milliliter and just roll it a lot to get it out of there. That way you won't have to worry about wasting the oils or, you know, something going bad. Okay, so let's talk about what kind of roller bottles I make. So I can just show you the ones that I have here that I use all the time. I have one called Immunity, and I'll have all these recipes in the blog. So if you want to just go to the blog, then you can look through the list, because there's a whole bunch of them. So I'm not going to go through them all now, but just so you know kind of generally what they're for. I have one for Immunity that I roll on the back of my neck and the necks of all my family members every morning, or at least every morning that I remember, which is most mornings. I have one called Play in the Pollen, which is great for sinus support during springtime or whatever. And again, I might roll that here, or I might roll it on my nose or on my neck. I have one called Pounding Head that I will roll just straight across my forehead. I have one called Boo Boo Blend. So if the kids have a boo-boo, then they know this is very well diluted, and they can just grab it and apply it themselves, which is really nice. And then I have one for Energy that I always keep in my bag. So if I need that, especially when I'm at work, then, you know, I use that. I put a rollerball fitment on my Panaway bottle. So if I have a sore neck or, you know, some sort of issue that I need Panaway, I can just roll that directly on. And then, and I use these sometimes to extend the life of my oils. So I have a Valor oil that I really love, and I didn't want to run out. So when it was about halfway empty, I topped it up with grapeseed oil, and then I added the rollerball fitment. So, you know, I'm still getting plenty of Valor when I roll it on, but I've just extended it so it's not just neat oil. I actually diluted it a little bit. So those are all the ones that I kind of carry around with me every day and use all the time. But there are just any number of issues that you might want to make rollerballs to have handy. So whether it's anger, you know, any emotion, so grief or any happiness or joy, or you might need bladder control support or craving support. You know, there's all sorts of things that you could make roller bottles for, and you can look again in the blog to see some ideas there, but they are very, very versatile. So let's talk about carrier oils. Which carrier oil do you use? I typically use grapeseed oil. You hear me talk about that one a lot. I like that it's odorless and it has the right sort of viscosity to get the oils out of the roller bottle. Fractionated coconut oil is something people use a lot of. It is processed, so you know, you can decide what's right for you, but I tend to just stick with grapeseed oil because I've really found good you know, results with that one. What's nice about also using a carrier oil, even if it's something that could be rolled on neat, you know, just straight essential oils, is that it extends the oils, so you're using less, because you can get so much benefit from even using a partial drop of an oil. You don't always have to use, you know, maximum. More is not always better, especially with essential oils. So you really need to start low and go slow. That's a phrase you might have heard. Start low and go slow. See how your body adjusts to that oil, interacts with that oil, and you know how it makes you feel, and then you decide if you need a little bit more or something different or a little bit less. But it's your body, you know, everybody's body reacts differently, so you can make those decisions and feel empowered to do that. Okay, so let's talk about the process of making the rollerball. So what I do is I find the recipe that I want to make, and in my empty roller bottle I add the drops of oil, and then I just gently swirl it to mix. I gently swirl like this. I just turn it around to mix it. And it's best if you can let it sit for about 24 hours before you actually add the carrier oil. So you're creating a synergy and really allowing those oils to blend, so that then when you add the carrier oil, they're really blended. And when you roll it onto yourself, you're really getting a good representation of all the different oils that are inside of there. So that's perfect. If you have 24 hours to wait before adding your carrier oil, then do that. So, you know, I add my oils, and then the next day I top it up with carrier oil, and then it's ready to go. I add it to my bag. The last thing I wanted to mention is that roller bottles also make great fragrances. So this is pretty much all I use now that I've gotten away from traditional commercial perfumes, is I put together the oils that I love in my roller bottle, and then I have that ready to just roll on whenever I feel like I need a little top up of fragrance. And it's very effective. I mean, the scent doesn't stay you know, forever, obviously, but it does stay for a little while, and then, you know, you have it with you, so you can always just roll on more if you feel like you need it. But that's a great alternative to commercial perfumes. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer them and to give you any more ideas that, you know, you might want to make your own roller bottles at home. And I just buy these on Amazon in packs of like 12 or 24. I tend to buy bigger packs because I also give them away, you know, to friends and stuff. But even if you buy 12, you know, then you'll have kind of 12 different things that you could make up for you and your family to use on the go. All right, have fun with it. Thanks.